do this. Hi, everybody. Luke Thomas here. It is... There we go. Some kids going by. I normally don't do this. I normally don't go live in public, but I won't have a chance to do it later. And I want to react to this UFC 303 news related to both Conor McGregor and Ian Garry. So first of all, thank you for joining me. Please forgive the appearances. I'm at a park. For anybody who knows where I'm at, I'm on the Metropolitan Branch Trail here in DC. Don't worry, I was with my kid. My wife is here watching Tookster. Everything's good. All right, so let's talk about it. UFC 303 news. There's news for Conor McGregor, and then there's news for Ian Garry. Obviously, UFC 303 takes place June 29th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. You might say, Luke, why did you decide to go live next to the... Because on the other side of the park, there's a guy playing go-go music. It's loud as shit. Like, this was the best I could do. All right, let's get to it. UFC 303, June 29th, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Conor McGregor's going to be fighting Michael Chandler. We already knew that. What's the news? UFC President Dana White announced today that there's going to be a press conference, and it sounds like there's going to be multiple of them, but we know of at least one, June 3rd, which of course will be the Monday following UFC 302 in Dublin, Ireland at the 3 Arena. This is where many major MMA fights have taken place in Ireland, and this is where Conor McGregor fought the Brazilian dog, this is where he said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. That was in this arena. So you get the idea. That is going to be a scene. It's going to be Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. I don't know if there's going to be anybody else, but certainly those two, the principal main event, they're going to be in Ireland. This is the first time the UFC has done a press tour, I think internationally, but certainly since 2015 when they did the world tour for Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. And I have to tell you, we're trying here. We're trying here. We'll see how that goes. You said a press tour for 297, 298, and 299. No, not like this. Not where they had a European headliner and then they went back to a major European market and then brought the B-side along with them. No, that's not true. They've not done that. Not for the other markets outside of the typical pay-per-view area, right? So I don't know if they're going to go to any other place besides Ireland. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do that kind of thing. But this is the first time they've done like an international tour like this in quite some time. And in any case, the more important part is like, this is, I think, partly what Conor McGregor needs. He's been gone for basically 3 years in terms of active competition. There's obviously, he's got legal issues that are still somewhat unresolved. Partly was rehabilitated through the Roadhouse effort, but you get the idea. I think a little bit of a boost in the Irish market, where I am told, by the way, his reputation is still somewhat mixed. I think it's good to get to touch base with the fans again. I think it's gonna, I think June 3rd when Conor McGregor is there, it's going to be fucking scenes up in that bitch. It's going to be amazing. I think it's a jolt in the arm for that fight. It's a jolt in the arm for Conor's reputation. Kind of a jolt for, Irish MMA is doing fine, but this is good for that as well. It's great. I'm so happy to see them get on the road. Like the UFC machine, I watched it get built all the way, more actively watching again around 2003, 2004, and then watching the machine get built and watching them go on the road. And Dana White said it recently at a post-fight press conference. He even said, we built this machine by going on the road, going city to city, and just going in that way. Dude, he was 100% telling the truth. It really, that's when you really see the UFC machine. When they're back at the Apex, you don't really get a good feel for it. Like, you feel like, I don't know if any promoter could do that, but it doesn't feel special. Dude, when they get out there and they move mountains and they actually try, and then they go back to some of these markets that are, in my judgment, traditionally underserved, especially by them anyway, certainly. Bellator's kind of taken over that space, which is kind of, well, Bellator doesn't exist, but PFL Bellator has kind of taken over the Irish market, which is sort of weird to say. Anyway, that's the Conor McGregor side. So if you're just joining us, the Conor McGregor announcement, UFC President Dana White announcing they're going to have a press conference June 3rd at the 3 Arena in Dublin, Ireland. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, 3 Arena, as I indicated. How about this? Tickets, the cost is free. They're going to pack that bitch. The Irish are going to be singing. I'm guessing they're going to serve booze for this. Oh, buddy. Yeah, we'll have a reaction to this on that channel. Make no mistake about it. Like 1,000,000,000%. Okay, so that's the Conor McGregor news. And if you have any reactions for it, let me know. The the Ian Machado or Ian Garry news also related to 303. Now, this was not the co-main event, as I understand it. The co-main event would still be Carlos Ulberg now taking on Jamal Hill, which has its own issues, but is a good fight, and we all like it, I think. Ian Garry is going to take on MVP, Michael Venom Page, the former one-time interim Bellator welterweight champion. I know that we had kind of heard rumblings of this from the MVP side. Ian Garry was trying to line something up with Colby. I don't know if Colby ducked or not. I really don't know what the issue is there. The audio, where's the audio? Well, from my mouth. The fuck? Anyway. I think that, first of all, that's pretty incredible matchmaking, because both guys tend to fight a little bit more, or I should say maintain range, super range, right? Where Ian Garry fights very long, and MVP kind of keeps that space, but at the same time, he'll dart, obviously. He'll close the space. So that's an interesting thing. So then you have to ask yourself, if you're Ian Garry, what do you do? Are you going to try and keep MVP at range and counter him as he darts in? That's one possibility. The other one, I think, a little bit more likely, or at least certainly to be likely a part of what he's going to do. He's going to try and take him down. But I love that it kind of forces that outside space, that comfort zone of Garry. It forces him to make some difficult decisions about it. Do you want to sit there and risk getting sniped, or do you want to try and fight in another place that doesn't include it? Yeah, my man's walking by with a boombox. This is going to be sick. Watch this. Come on now. Let's go. I don't know what that is. This is awesome. Dude, these guys in Colombia, they'll get one of those on the beach, and then they'll rent it to somebody who needs it under like one of the cabanas. And so people will just roll up playing loud ass music. All right, getting back to Ian Garry and MVP. I love the difficult situation that it puts Ian Garry in. I think it's an interesting style contrast more generally. Also, MVP wanted to make an immediate impact. Someone saying Ian didn't meet Colby stipulations. Get the fuck out of here with this. Are you kidding me? All that's theater for donks. That's just theater for donks. None of that is real. None of that has anything to do with how any of those fights get offered, any of those contracts get signed. It's theater for fucking donks. Donks is what that is. Please give that dumb shit up. He just didn't want the fight. Whether you can call it ducking or not, I don't know. I don't know enough of the circumstances to say, but it looked like Colby just didn't want the fight. So you can make of that what you want to make of that. So he's going to get MVP. For MVP, he's trying to make an immediate impact. He took on Kevin Holland, obviously, recently. We saw that UFC 299. He got the win over that. It was a good fight. It was an exciting fight. Kevin Holland fought a bit like a donk, but he's still tough, and it was a good win. So it sets up this one where, dude, MVP could be the spoiler in ways where, if he beats Ian Garry, I think that boosts his fortunes and his name in a dramatic way. If he loses and makes it exciting and really tries, I don't think it really hurts him. It kind of puts him in, it puts him in like a bit of a Michael Chandler position. Not in terms of getting a title shot, but in terms of like, hey, this guy won't win them all, but you can rely on him to fuck shit up on occasion and certainly make it interesting every time. So you got to love the matchmaking. The fight could suck depending on what Ian Garry does. That also is a risk that we're running here. But, okay, in general, I think that there's a lot of ways that is a revealing fight. And certainly now you've got the Conor fight at the top. You've got the light heavyweight kind of number one contender-ish fight in the co-main event. Now you've got this one as the feature fight. That's a pretty good deal for UFC 303. The rest of the card is kind of whatever, but having 3 fights on it, Conor's at the top of it, $20 million gate. That's, yeah, you got an Irish guy with an Irish guy, so like all the people tuning in have somebody else to look to. Conor is going to be, I think, 36 or close to it. I think he's 36 in like July or August, something like that. But 35 certainly. But there you go. Conor McGregor, big news. Dublin press conference, June 3rd, the Monday after UFC 302. That's going to be huge. Him and Michael Chandler, 3 Arena, free to the audience. Ian Garry, MVP on 303. And then also, this is not really related. I didn't put this in the headline. Tyson Fury has officially activated the rematch clause. And so that bout with Usyk in October is a go. Yes, please. Right now, dude. Are you shitting me? Here comes Conor. We got the return of Hamzat. We just had this incredible Usyk fight. We're going to get the rematch there. They're going to, obviously, they were supposed to be June 1st for Better Beef and Bivol. They're going to get that going, but we're going to get Deontay Wilder versus Big Bang Zhang on that day. As I mentioned, Whitaker's back. And then, of course, Conor's back. Dustin fights, not the end of this week, but next week. And Islam is back. Dude, June is going to be on fire. And then, of course, the rest of the summer, I didn't even mention Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez on June 15th. Dude, you realize how many good fights there are in June between boxing and MMA? I just listed all them. Whitaker, Hamzat, Benavidez, Conor, Gervonta. Dude, you got the biggest star in MMA and the biggest star in boxing competing in 2 weeks of each other. June is about to bang. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, DC's hot as fuck right now. It's almost 90 degrees. Anyway, I'm on a place called the Metropolitan Branch Trail, and I got to get back to my kid. So we're going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody. If you like this in the comments, let me know. If not, I don't know if I'll do this again, but I'm going to go check on my daughter, and I'm going to relieve my wife of the any more duty. So big news, UFC 303. It's going to be hot, boys and girls. Let's go. Hot like a DC summer. All right. Love you. I'm going to get out of here, I think. I'm going to try. Here we go. Peace.